All right. Hello, friends, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Dreambound. This is the epilogue. The main story has finished, and we do have a little bit more that we need to go through. And let me tell you guys, I'm so happy that this epilogue exists. So happy that we're about to get this moment. It focuses mostly on Asher and tying up loose ends there with the brothers. And Asher's one of my favorite side characters. He's probably my favorite side character of them all. So I'm not only happy to see him in this, but also happy to see this conversation happen. See this talk that I've been waiting for them to have pretty much this entire series. And I hope that you are excited as well. So let's hop into it. At the end of this episode, I don't close this out with a recording like I normally do for the beginnings and endings of the episodes so far. The end of this episode is my talking through the very second that I finished the epilogue and finished this game. So this is the last time that you get to hear from me, post-playthrough Kit. But I hope you've had a lot of fun. I hope you're excited for this epilogue, and I'm gonna go now and let you guys watch it. 2 months had passed since Noah and Kane's attempt at playing detective, a journey which had come to a premature close once Noah had discovered who the true culprit was. Noah tried to say goodbye to Asher, but Asher hadn't wanted to speak to him. Bitch. I can't believe my favorite side character doesn't want to speak to me. Bro, what the fuck? Get over here. He had sent his older brother several texts and several voice calls, but Asher hadn't replied to any of them. This had perturbed Noah, who had come to feel a degree of sympathy towards his older brother. But in the end, he decided to leave it. It's obvious he doesn't want to speak to me. He's too busy sulking. Well, I won't force the issue. It would be hypocritical of me if I tried. I acted exactly the same when August died. For years, I ignored everybody. Asher has every right to do the same thing, especially when he's been grieving his relationship with Reuben for just as long. I'll just give him the time he needs. Really, though, we're a lot more alike than I ever realized. Knowing Kane's journey back home was a stilted one, neither man quite knowing what to say. A lot had happened, and both had been left shaken. Noah was quietly hopeful, however, that his relationship with Kane would grow stronger from the trials they had both weathered. And grow stronger it did. It was a couple of weeks after their return home that Kane invited Noah to live with him in his apartment, an invitation that Noah accepted. His lease was about to end anyway, and he didn't particularly want to spend much more time slumming it in his cramped apartment, surrounded by ruined canvases. Do you think he got, his deposit back? Because that apartment was kind of messed up. There were too many bad memories there. He had wasted years of his life in that apartment, shrinking away from anybody who tried to help him. He had lived like a hermit, as if his imposed isolation would alter the outside world. Perhaps part of him had hoped, if he refused to engage with anybody else, August might come back. This, however, had been a delusion. August was gone. But Noah did have Kane. Now he meant to stay with him. Noah could not help but regard Kane differently after knowing he was the mastermind behind the mysterious murders, but he thought he understood why Kane had done all he did. He had been trying in his own way to uphold the promise he had made with August on his deathbed. He had been trying to protect Noah. Kane had gone about it in a manner more aggressive. Yeehaw, what the fuck was that? It was true than August would have ever advocated. But Kane had always been an overachiever. Noah packed up the few belongings he possessed, a few clothes and some paint supplies which hadn't dried up, and moved them into Kane's apartment. He had thought the sudden change in his environment would take a lot of getting used to, but it was easier to adapt than he'd thought. Noah had known Kane for years, after all, ever since they had been young boys. Noah knew Kane in all of his habits, inside out. He was much closer to Cain than he'd ever been with any of his family. He might even have been closer to Cain than he had been with August. He hadn't known August for a full year, but he had known Cain for almost 2 decades. He had not known, of course, about Cain's murderous tendencies, but that was long behind him. Cain had put an end to his indiscretions, and since his killings had all occurred within dreams, there was no evidence that he was the culprit. Nothing could be pinned on him, no physical evidence, at least. Noah, Ivan, and Crow were the only people who knew what Cain had done, and Noah did not intend to rat him out. He was guilty of much the same crime himself. Noah hadn't seen Ivan even once since that dream from months ago. Whatever connection Ivan had with August, Noah thought he might never know. As for Crow, meanwhile, Noah wasn't even afforded the chance to say goodbye to him. He had stopped jumping between dreams, which meant he no longer had an opportunity to meet the one who only seemed to exist in them. If Crow willed it, Noah was sure he could have plucked Noah from his slumber into his domain. But Crow never did. Perhaps he wanted to keep his distance, knowing all that Noah had been through. Did he feel guilty, Noah wondered, for exposing Cain to him? Maybe he doesn't want to cause me any further pain. He's considerate, but I should have expected as much, coming from someone who looks that much like August. He was always putting other people before himself, too. I still can't believe that, when he was dying, he was more worried about me than himself. I don't know if I really deserve such a degree of consideration. But Crow said he wanted me to be happy in the real world, and I want to respect his wishes. I'm going to do my very best. Noah did wonder about Crow from time to time, and whether he was lonely, or if he even existed in the first place. But he was happier living in the present with Cain. Though he would never forget about August or about Crow and Ivan, it was easier to put them from his mind when he and Cain were together, going shopping for groceries, eating dinner in Cain's spotlessly clean apartment, and sharing the same bed at night. Noah could not imagine his life being much better than that. He did not think he deserved to experience a life much better than that, not with August's blood still thick on his hands. But life had one more surprise lined up for him. Asher called Noah a couple months after their parents' funeral, quite out of the blue. Noah hadn't spoken to him since then, and he was surprised to pick up the phone to hear his older brother's voice. Asher sounded oddly subdued. The self-important bite was gone from his voice. Hey, Noah. I know it's been a while, but can we talk? Noah debated this, but why are you debating? For a few moments, his fingers curled around his phone. Before, after a pause, he agreed. He did, he realized, want to talk to Asher again. There was a lot between them which remained unspoken, and a lot which needed to be addressed. Noah didn't want to wash his hands of his relationship with Asher altogether. If he wants to talk to me, then I should at least hear him out. Maybe he really has had a change of heart. The phone call with Asher, however, was not particularly illuminating. A lot is, well, I know things are a bit strained. Fuck, I hate this shit. Look, could we talk in person? I won't run away this time. I think I'll be able to explain myself better. Maybe. Or, who knows, it could be even worse. I don't know if I have that much faith in myself to not fuck things up. But I'd like to give it a shot. Fine. But you have to come to me this time. Alright. You traveled to see me last time, even if that ended in disaster, so it's only fair. It might be good, too, for me to get out a bit more. Wow, the parallels! I feel like I'm stagnating. The weekend eventually came around, bringing Asher with it. He had sounded uneasy on the phone, but he did not look much more comfortable in person. He sat in Cain's immaculate living room like a sculpture, so stiff and still he barely even blinked. His eyes darted anxiously about the interior decor, as though it meant him harm. Then he swallowed. So, it's a nice place you have here. Thanks. Kane's reply was a gruff one as he slid a cup of coffee over to Asher. I furnished it myself. Right. You have good taste? I'm aware of that. Yes. Kane, come on. Now, why did you come here? Kane's tone was a little harsh, but at the very least it wasn't hostile. Asher fell quiet, his brow furrowed. Noah observed him, wondering whether this would be Asher's cue to start insulting Kane, but... Right. Asher, contrary to Noah's expectations, did not retort with a well-chosen insult, though it seemed apparent, judging by the way his left eye twitched, that he really wanted to. I guess he's determined to be on his best behavior after all. I thought he came here to antagonize me, but maybe I had the wrong read of the situation. I believe in him. Noah. Asher turned his attention to Noah, his cup of coffee undrunk on the table before him. I'll level with you. I know it was pretty sudden, me calling you like I did, and it was even more sudden that I asked if we could meet up. I didn't think you'd agree to it, honestly. I was sure you'd tell me to go fuck myself. And if you had, I wouldn't have blamed you. I know that I deserve it. So, he realizes I have a right to hate him. I can't say I expected that. Maybe he has changed. Just a little. That's funny. Kane seemed to share Noah's thoughts, because he scoffed. I didn't realize you were that self-aware. Yeah, well, I'm not an idiot. I know how the two of you think about me. If you knew, then why did you keep behaving like a dick? Because I wanted to behave like a dick. I was sick and tired, always acting like Mr. Perfect at school and around our parents. Asher shook his head. Well, that's neither here nor there. I could sit here and make excuses, but that's not why I came here. Why did you come here, then? What do you want? I was getting to it. It's kind of awkward, actually, but our parents' funeral made me think about some stuff. Stuff? Yeah, stuff. I know we've never really seen eye to eye, and I know that's my fault in part. Or maybe in full. The way I treated you was really shitty. I told myself it was normal for siblings to argue, but some of the stunts I pulled with you, I don't think that was normal. I went too far and, well, now we're both orphans, effectively. I figured it was about time I grew up a little. Words won't make up for all the shit I said, but for what it's worth, I am sorry. What? Noah stared at Asher, stunned. I've known him all my life, but I don't think I've ever heard him apologize before. I didn't think he was capable of it. He didn't even apologize to Ruben, not properly, when he and Ruben broke up. What changed? I'm sorry. Noah shook his head, feeling more than a little overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. Are you being serious? Completely. Then trust me, it's fucking killing me. I did some soul searching after our parents bit the bullet, and I decided... Ugh. Asher sighed. It's... corny, but we're family, right? That means we should stay together and stick by one another. That's why I called you all those months ago, actually, after the news broke. I wanted to try and mend things with you then. I was going through some tough shit, and I thought I'd be nice, I guess, being able to talk things out with you. I wanted to try being honest with you. But you brought Loverboy here with you. Asher cast a glance at Kane. And being honest with him around, it just... I don't know. I couldn't handle it. I felt on edge already since I was doing all the funeral prep and seeing you with Kane, seeing him fawned over you like you were the most goddamn important person in the universe. It stung, I guess. I was just being selfish and stupid because of Reuben. Asher swallowed his words. But I shouldn't blame you for my problems. It's not your fault Reuben stopped talking to me. I brought it on myself. That was another thing I tried to pin on you because it was easier than facing up to my own flaws. But that was years ago. I'm older now. Hell, I'm closer to being 30 than I am 20, and it's pretty embarrassing, isn't it, for a grown-ass man to pin all his problems on his younger brother? I think it is, at least. I wasn't willing to listen to what Reuben said, but he was right. I didn't treat you right. I'm your older brother, so... Asher inhaled. He squared his shoulders. Then, in a manner which was oddly noble coming from Asher, he said, I think it's high time I acted like it. I'm going to stop lashing out. It didn't do me any good. It only drove people away from me. You, and Reuben, too. I see. Are you trying to be nice to me, then, for Reuben's sake? Is this your way of atoning? In part, I guess. It'd be a lie if I said I was being wholly selfless. But nobody's wholly selfless, right? We all do things because we think they'll benefit us in some way, even saints. Otherwise, what's the point? Nobody wants to suffer, I suppose. Cain, who had been quiet during this exchange, nodded. I think I can understand where you're coming from. Wow. Asher smiled wryly. Are you actually agreeing with me on something, Cain? I thought you hated me. I did hate you. I despised you. I wasn't prepared to forgive you after the way you treated Noah. But I'd like to believe that people can change, too. I have to, or I couldn't live with myself. That's what Reuben said to me, too. He said he didn't like the person I was, but he thought I could become somebody better. I disregarded it at the time, like the idiot I am. But Reuben's pretty smart. I'm getting distracted. I didn't come here to talk about Reuben. Do you miss him? Of course. I miss him every day. But I don't think I was worthy to spend time with him. Not the way I was. I was just dragging him down. I don't want to be like that now, though. I'm going to change. I think I have to if I don't want to die alone. It'll be difficult, but you were able to change, Noah. And I've just stayed the same asshole. But you're doing all right now. You're living in this nice apartment, and you even have a partner. Maybe there's hope for a fuck-up like me, too. I just need to believe in it. As long as you're alive, then you can change. I really do believe that. If you're willing to give moving forward with each other a try, then so am I. Maybe we can grow closer as people because we've both seen rock bottom. And if not, I mean, if we still hate each other after this, that's okay, I guess. At least we tried. Noah looked towards Cain, towards his future. Yeah, at least we tried. You should call him, Asher. I think you'd both be surprised. Maybe I will. There's something missing here. Wait, you can't just kick me out to the title screen like that after that moment and then not have August. August has been here this entire time. What the fuck? Well, with that, I guess that's the end of Dreambound. Honestly, I was gonna be here and be like, oh, that's really cute that Asher finally turned around. I was, really hoping for that throughout this series because, as I said earlier, Asher is my favorite side character, so I want good things to happen to him. The story in general, I mean, with Cain being the killer and finding out that it was because of what August had said to him, and August's death being such a catalyst for these characters. This visual novel was so well done. I'm always really surprised when I get to the ends of visual novels from 2.5 Studios because they're always just so well written. That's one thing that I really like about this developer. But I really was not expecting the gut punch that was coming back to the main menu in August not being here. Holy shit. Alright, well, with that, I guess that's the end of Dreambound. That is the final episode for us. I really liked this one, and I hope that you guys did as well, but I'm gonna have to end this series. I do want to eventually do Ivan and Crow's roots and learn more about them. Maybe they'll also be as much of a punch in the gut as Kane's story was. But I'm going to take a little bit of a break before I do that, so this isn't stale and we're not just seeing Dreambound content after Dreambound content. I'm thinking of like in a year from when the first episode of this came out, redo it and do either Crow or Ivan's route. You'll have to let me know which route do you think I should do first, because I'm kind of 50-50 on them. I could go either way, but that will be for later because we have to go now. So thank you for watching this video. Again, thank you for watching this series in general. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the future for another game on my channel.